All right, welcome everyone. So in this lesson today, we're going to try and predict the RSI. Now, to get started, it is really simple. The first thing we want to do is to make sure that we install our dependencies. We've got pandas, matplotlib, scikit-learn, LightGBM, Python Binance. Python Binance, where we're going to get our data from, and just run that. I've already run it, so I'm going to comment it out. Next cell, we will add some imports. Pandas, NumPy, TA for technical analysis, and charting. Simple as that. Look how fast we're going. Third one is the client to get our data. This is going to use the Python Binance, and we're going to get the hourly data. This will take approximately 40 seconds to download. And while that's downloading, we're going to get the next slot, which is creating our RSI. Now we're going to create a column called RSI that will have a window of 14. And that's exactly what we're going to try and predict. Now, the next step is to actually, let's create a new cell here and run RSI next. RSI next is RSI shifted by 1 from the future, so we can try and predict this as a target. The target will be RSI next bigger than the current RSI as a type integer. So for Boolean, 1 for above and 0 for not true or below. Now that you see 43 seconds for the data, that's perfect. Now we can actually run the cells below it. There we go. Simple as that. Next, we're going to create some indicators that will help us. You can see them as features essentially. Some moving averages, MACD, ATR, really simple stuff. But this should give the model some more context on our data. And then we're going to create some lag indicators that will take the columns that we already have and just create new columns that are called lag columns, and they will contain data from previous older time steps so that we have more ranging data. Simple as that. Okay, we're nearly ready to train. The next thing we got to do though is create Y and X. Y is the target and X is all the feature data. And we're going to drop the columns, of course, RSI next and target, because they contain future information and we don't want that leaking in our model. Perfect. And then next, we're going to create a train test split, 80 to 20, so 20% to test, 80% to train. And then we are going to create our LGBM classifier with the following parameters. And then we're ready to train. So just run the cell. This will take about, 15, 20 seconds to run. That's what I love about LGBM. It's really efficient and quick. And once we are done training, I think it should be a few more seconds really. Lovely, 13.9 seconds. And now we can get some probabilities, classification, information. Aha, look at that. All right, so it looks like we're only getting about 50 to 54% accuracy. A precision from a model, total accuracy 52%. That is essentially flipping a coin, so that's not so great. However, we can improve that, but before we do that, let's visualize some features, shall we? Look how important the volume feature is, using a lot of that. Many of the lag indicators for the rate of change. Let's also check the confidence of the model, 24%. That RSI will rise in the next hour. Interesting signals. We could also plot this, although it will be a bit noisy. But we can take a look. Yeah, not so bad. Just really noisy, but that's okay. So what we're going to try and do here is actually try and improve that stat. I mean, 50% is okay, but not workable. So what you want to do is maybe try and remove some noise. How do we remove noise? Well, there are many ways to remove the noise. But one trick I'm going to do is essentially move the target ahead in the future by 15 hours. So here we're doing 1 hour, but I've switched it to 15. And we're just going to run this again and run the cell below and below until we start training again. This will essentially help us, help the model, but also help us see less noise trying to predict above or below. So there we go, we're finished. Now let's run this again and see what we get. Oh, very fancy. So now we're getting 71% precision and 56, a much bigger improvement. Yes, albeit a less recall, which is not really good, but our total accuracy has gone from 52% to 59%. And with just one simple change, and there's so many more things we could do, like adding more features, cleaning up, more denoising. So yeah, 71% predicting the 15th hour RSI. I think that's pretty good. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next lesson.